Once upon a time, in a small village, nestled between rolling hills and thick woods, there lived a young woman named Alara. Alara was known for her beautiful voice. Her songs carried through the air like a gentle breeze, lifting the spirits of anyone who heard her. Whether she was singing in the fields, in the village square, or by the hearth at home, her voice was a gift, bringing peace and joy to all who listened. One day, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, Alara was invited to sing at the grand festival of the harvest moon. It was the most anticipated event of the year, and the villagers hoped Alara would once again enchant them with her melodies. As she stepped onto the stage beneath a sky full of stars, she could feel the weight of their expectations, but she smiled, ready to sing her heart out. However, as soon as she opened her mouth to sing, no sound came. It was as though her voice had vanished into thin air. Panic gripped her heart. She tried again and again, but nothing, only a rasping silence. The crowd hushed, and Alara's face turned crimson with embarrassment. She rushed off the stage, her mind spinning with confusion and fear. Days turned into weeks, and despite all her efforts, Alara's voice remained silent. She sought the help of wise women, healers, and even mystical seers. But no one could explain the sudden loss of her gift. Some said it was a curse, others suggested it was an illness of the soul. Whatever it was, the silence felt like a heavy weight on her heart. As time passed, Alara withdrew from the village, no longer singing by the river or in the fields. She took long walks alone through the woods, her thoughts consumed by the haunting emptiness within her. Her friends and family tried to comfort her, but nothing could fill the void where her voice once resided. One evening, after months of wandering, Alara came upon an old, forgotten temple deep in the forest. The air was thick with the scent of moss and earth, and the temple seemed to pulse with a quiet energy. She stepped inside, drawn by an inexplicable force, and at the heart of the temple, she found a woman sitting in meditation. Her eyes were closed, her presence serene but intense. The woman opened her eyes and spoke softly. "I know why you are here, Alara." "You do?" Alara asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Yes," the woman said. "You lost your voice because you forgot the true meaning of your gift. You used to sing for the joy of it, to share your heart with the world. But over time, you sang to be admired, to be loved, to be praised. You sought validation instead of expressing the truth within you." Alara lowered her head, tears welling up in her eyes. She had become consumed with her reputation and had forgotten the simple pleasure of singing for herself, for the beauty of the sound, for the pure joy it brought her. The woman continued, "If you want to reclaim your voice, you must first reclaim your heart. Sing not for others, but for the peace that resides in you. Only then will your voice return." With those words, the woman vanished, leaving Alara alone in the temple. For the first time in months, Alara felt a shift within her. She walked back into the forest, not with the intention to sing, but to simply breathe, to listen to the world around her. The rustling of the leaves, the distant call of a bird, the whisper of the wind, they all felt like music to her now. That night, standing beneath the stars, Alara sang again, not to impress, not to please, but because the song was a part of her, a reflection of the life flowing within. Her voice returned, not with a grand flourish, but in a quiet, steady hum that resonated with the earth, the sky, and her soul. The villagers heard her, of course, and they came to listen. But Alara no longer sought their approval. She sang for herself, and in doing so, her voice became more beautiful than it had ever been before. The harmony she had lost had been found, not in the applause of others, but in the silence of her own heart.